Have you ever found yourself tossing and turning at night, struggling to get a good night's sleep, only to wake up feeling more tired than before? Maybe your skin feels dry or itchy when you wake up, even though you follow all the right skincare routines. It's a quiet frustration many women over 60 face, but often don't talk about. You might think it's just part of aging or the stress of everyday life, but what if it's something simpler, something you might not have even considered? Could what you're wearing to bed be affecting both your rest and your skin's health? It's a question that surprises many, yet it's a crucial piece of the puzzle that's often overlooked. Choosing the wrong sleepwear can quietly sabotage your sleep quality and worsen skin problems without you even realizing it. In this video, I'll share with you 5 common sleepwear mistakes women over 60 make, and what to do instead, to help you sleep more deeply and wake up with healthier, more radiant skin. Stick around, because by the end, you'll discover simple changes that can make a big difference in how you feel every morning. Let's explore this together. If you are not subscribed, subscribe and activate the notification bell so you don't miss any videos. If you like the topic of this video, please comment 1. If you don't, please comment 0 to let me know how I can improve and make better videos for you. Now, let's begin. 1. Tight or restrictive sleepwear. Have you ever noticed how, after a restless night, you wake up feeling achy and uncomfortable, and it seems like no amount of stretching helps shake off that stiffness? Maybe you brush it off, telling yourself it's just part of getting older, or maybe it was the way you slept. You might not think twice about the pajamas you slipped on the night before. After all, you've always worn them, and they look fine in the drawer. But what if those tight or restrictive pajamas are quietly playing a bigger role in your comfort and well-being than you ever imagined? Many women in their 60s and beyond have a favorite pair of sleep pants or a snug nightgown. Sometimes, it's about habit, or maybe it's because those old pajamas were a gift, or they seem to keep you held together at night. Some even believe that a bit of tightness will help with circulation or support aging muscles, not realizing that this well-intended choice might be causing more harm than good. Let's pause and consider. Have you ever woken up with creases on your skin that took hours to fade? Have you noticed any itching, red marks, or prickly feeling along your waist or thighs after a night's sleep? Maybe your sleep is lighter than it used to be, and you find yourself waking up, not quite knowing why. You may chalk it up to aging, hormones, or even the mattress. But could it be something as simple and overlooked as what you wear to bed? Here's the surprising truth. Tight or restrictive sleepwear can disrupt your sleep, irritate your skin, and set you up for a rougher morning than you deserve. Most of us grow up thinking that pajamas are just about style or keeping warm, but science, and the experience of countless older women, shows us that the fit and fabric of your sleepwear truly matter, especially as we age. Why is this the case? As we get older, our skin naturally becomes thinner, less elastic, and more prone to irritation. Circulation slows, especially in the extremities. The body's ability to regulate temperature can also change. Tight clothing, whether it's a waistband digging into your belly, a nightgown clinging too close, or sleeves pressing into your arms, can cut off that gentle circulation even more, causing swelling, tingling, or numbness. This isn't just uncomfortable. It can wake you up repeatedly throughout the night, even if you don't fully remember each time. Over months and years, that adds up to less deep sleep, and that's when your body is supposed to restore itself, heal, and repair your skin. The skin itself also needs room to breathe. When fabric hugs the body too closely, it creates friction, which means more redness and irritation. Sweat can get trapped, especially where the fabric is tightest, along your waist, under the bust, or behind the knees. This warm, moist environment is a playground for bacteria and yeast, which can lead to itching, rashes, or even minor infections, especially if your immune system isn't as robust as it once was. Plus, those red lines and marks left by tight sleepwear are little signals from your skin, saying, "I need some relief." And let's not forget how restricted movement in bed can affect your joints and muscles. At this age, we're all looking for ways to preserve mobility and avoid nighttime cramps. If your sleepwear is too snug, it can keep your hips or shoulders from finding a comfortable position, subtly tensing your muscles all night and leaving you with more soreness the next morning. So, what can you do? The good news is, the solution is both simple and gentle, just the way self-care should be. Start by choosing sleepwear that feels loose and soft, without any pinching or binding. Fabrics like organic cotton, bamboo, or silk are ideal because they are naturally breathable and allow your skin to stay dry and cool. When you try on new pajamas, don't just stand in front of the mirror. Sit, lie down, raise your arms, stretch your legs. If you feel any resistance, tightness, or pulling, those pajamas are not doing your body any favors. If you're shopping online, look for words like relaxed fit, roomy, or designed for comfort. If you find yourself hesitant to part with your favorite snug pajamas, try wearing them during the day instead of at night, when your body needs freedom to recover. Remember to check elastic bands, seams, and even the placement of buttons or snaps. Sometimes, it's the hidden details that make the biggest difference. A waistband that feels fine when you first put it on can dig in uncomfortably after a few hours in bed. A seam running across the chest or thigh can become a source of irritation when you toss and turn. If you love a pajama set but the fit is just a bit too close, consider sizing up or even exploring men's or unisex options for a looser feel. Let me share with you the story of Martha, a vibrant 67-year-old from Ohio who always prided herself on keeping up her routines. She had a favorite pair of flannel pajamas, snug around the waist, with narrow sleeves. Every winter, she'd pull them out, thinking they kept her extra warm. But as the years passed, she started noticing more restless nights. Her legs would tingle, her skin would break out in little red patches around the waistband, and no matter how she adjusted her pillows, she woke up stiff and tired. At first, Martha thought it was just the cold or maybe a sign of arthritis. It never crossed her mind that her beloved pajamas could be the culprit. It wasn't until her daughter, a nurse, visited for the holidays and noticed the red marks on Martha's waist and arms that anyone considered the connection. With a gentle nudge, Martha agreed to try a few nights in loose, cotton sleep shirts. She was skeptical at first. How much difference could it make? But within a week, Martha's sleep improved dramatically. The itchiness faded, she slept more soundly, and she even woke up feeling lighter and more refreshed. Now, she jokes that it was the simplest treatment she ever tried, and she never looks back. What Martha discovered is something every woman deserves to know. Comfort is not a luxury, but a necessity, especially as we age. You deserve to end your day by wrapping yourself in softness, letting your skin and body relax completely, so you can drift into a restorative, healing sleep. Don't let old habits or sentimental pajamas keep you from making a change that could transform your nights. Maybe tonight is the perfect time to take a second look at your sleepwear drawer. Run your fingers along the fabric, check the fit, and ask yourself, am I giving my body the comfort it needs to truly rest? Remember, good sleep is the foundation of health, and your skin is one of the first places you'll see the benefits. So, the next time you're tempted to reach for that tight, familiar nightgown, think of Martha, and think of yourself. Your body, your comfort, and your sleep matter. Small changes like choosing looser sleepwear can lead to big improvements, not just in how you sleep, but in how you feel all day long. Permit yourself to let go of what no longer serves you, and embrace the gentle freedom your body craves. After all, you've spent a lifetime caring for others. Now is the time to care for yourself, one restful night at a time. 2. Sleepwear made from synthetic fabrics, polyester, nylon, etc. It's funny how some habits stick with us over the years, even when the world around us changes. You might remember a time when picking out pajamas was a special treat. A soft flannel set for winter, a cool cotton nightgown for the sticky summer months, or maybe a silky, fancy pair you kept for when guests visited. But these days, as you browse store shelves or click through online catalogs, you might notice that more and more sleepwear options are made from synthetic fabrics. Those easy care, wrinkle-free blends like polyester, nylon, or acrylic. They're everywhere, and sometimes they look so smooth and pretty, promising a bit of luxury for an affordable price. But have you ever stopped to wonder whether these modern materials are really serving you, or whether they're quietly making your nights more uncomfortable than they need to be? If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 1 below to let me know that you are still here with me. It's a common story. You buy a set of pajamas because they feel soft and look shiny in the store. The label boasts of cooling technology or stain resistance. And for a night or two, maybe they feel just fine. But then, perhaps, you begin to notice little things. Maybe you wake up in the middle of the night with your pajamas clinging damply to your skin. Maybe there's a slight rash or itchiness around your shoulders, back, or thighs that you hadn't noticed before. Or perhaps you're tossing and turning more than usual, feeling overheated even when the room is cool. It's easy to brush these symptoms aside, blaming hormones, medications, or simply getting older. After all, skin changes and night sweats are common as we age, right? But here's a question to consider. What if the real culprit isn't just your body, but what you're putting next to your skin every night? What if those synthetic fabrics, no matter how pretty or affordable, are quietly working against your comfort, your rest, and even your skin health? Let's dig a little deeper into why this happens. Synthetic fabrics like polyester, nylon, and acrylic are made from petroleum-based products. That means they're essentially types of plastic, designed for durability and ease of care, not for breathability or natural comfort. Unlike natural fibers such as cotton, linen, or bamboo, synthetic materials don't allow air to flow freely. Instead, they tend to trap heat and moisture against your skin. This is especially true when you're tucked under the covers, your body heat building up as you sleep. For women over 60, these effects can be even more pronounced. With age, our skin becomes thinner and more sensitive, and our bodies are less able to regulate temperature efficiently. Night sweats and hot flashes, already a nuisance, can become unbearable in synthetic sleepwear. As your body tries to cool down, sweat collects on your skin and soaks into the fabric. But instead of wicking moisture away and letting it evaporate, synthetic fibers hold onto it, making your pajamas feel sticky, heavy, and uncomfortable. This constant dampness is more than just an annoyance. Moist skin is more prone to irritation and breakdown, especially when combined with the friction of movement during sleep. Over time, this can lead to rashes, redness, or even minor infections, particularly in areas where the fabric is snug, under the arms, around the waistband, or at the back of your knees. For anyone with diabetes or circulation issues, these problems can be even more serious. There's also the issue of skin allergies. Some people develop sensitivities to the chemicals used in synthetic fabrics, dyes, or the finishing agents that make pajamas look shiny or wrinkle-free. These chemicals can cause itching, hives, or eczema-like patches, especially after repeated washings, when the fibers start to break down and release more irritants. And if you think about it, sleepwear is the one clothing choice you make that stays on your skin for hours at a stretch, sometimes even longer than your day clothes. If your pajamas are making you sweat, itch, or wake up feeling sticky and uncomfortable, how can you possibly get the deep, restorative sleep your body truly needs? The truth is, your sleepwear should be helping you relax, not adding to your list of nighttime annoyances. But here's the good news. Changing your sleepwear is one of the simplest, most affordable ways to improve your sleep quality and your skin health. Start by taking a look at the labels on your pajamas and nightgowns. If you see words like polyester, nylon, or acrylic, it might be time to try something new. Instead, look for natural fibers. Cotton, linen, bamboo, or silk are all excellent choices for sleepwear. These fabrics are naturally breathable, allowing air to circulate and helping moisture evaporate from your skin. They tend to feel cooler in the summer, warmer in the winter, and softer every time you wash them. When shopping, don't be swayed by slick marketing or fancy packaging. Instead, focus on the feel and function. Run your hands over the fabric. Does it feel cool, soft, and light? Can you imagine wearing it on a humid night, or under a heavy quilt in January? Choose simple designs with as few seams, buttons, or embellishments as possible. Natural fibers often speak for themselves, without needing a lot of extras. If you're worried about the cost, remember that you don't need a drawer full of new pajamas. Even having just 1 or 2 high-quality, natural fiber sets can make a world of difference. You can always mix and match with a soft t-shirt or loose cotton shorts. And when you're ready to part with your old synthetic sets, consider donating them, if still in good shape, or repurposing them for chores around the house. Let me tell you about Elaine, a lively 72-year-old from Michigan, who used to swear by her miracle pajamas, those synthetic blends that promised cooling comfort and never seemed to wrinkle. For years, Elaine struggled with restless nights, waking up to find her pajamas clinging to her back, her skin irritated and patchy, and her mornings beginning with a groan rather than a smile. Her doctor offered creams for the rashes and advised hydration, but nothing seemed to help. One afternoon, while out shopping with her granddaughter, Elaine stumbled upon a simple rack of organic cotton nightgowns. Her granddaughter insisted she try one, just for fun, Grandma. So Elaine finally agreed. That first night, Elaine felt a difference. Her skin could breathe, she stayed dry all night, and the itching simply vanished. Within a week, she was sleeping deeper, waking refreshed, and her skin felt softer than it had in years. Now, Elaine tells anyone who will listen that switching to natural fiber pajamas was like giving myself a hug every night. It's a small change, but it brought her comfort and confidence back in ways she never expected. Maybe you've never thought much about your sleepwear, or maybe you figured that pajamas are all pretty much the same. But now you know, what touches your skin every night can have a big impact on your health, your rest, and even your mood in the morning. If you're ready to try something new, start small. Pull out that old cotton nightshirt, or invest in a simple set of bamboo pajamas. You might be surprised by just how much lighter and freer you feel. Give yourself the gift of comfort and care. Your body has carried you through decades of life's ups and downs, and you deserve restful, healing sleep. By choosing natural fabrics, you're not just pampering your skin, you're honoring yourself, and setting the stage for brighter, more energetic days. Remember, sometimes the path to better health is as simple as changing what you wear to bed. You have nothing to lose, and so much restful, peaceful sleep to gain. 3. Sleepwear with rough details, stiff lace, zippers, metal buttons. Have you ever slid into bed, looking forward to a night of peaceful sleep, only to find yourself distracted by the tiniest sensation? A scratch here, a poke there, or a seam that just won't stop rubbing against your skin. It might seem like a small annoyance at first, maybe something you can ignore or get used to. After all, you've dealt with more discomfort in life than a bit of scratchy lace or a stiff zipper. But night after night, those little irritations can add up, turning what should be a restful, healing time into hours of fidgeting, tossing, and wishing you could just drift off without feeling like you're sleeping in a pair of jeans. So many women over 60, perhaps out of habit or nostalgia, keep wearing the same kinds of pajamas they enjoyed in their younger years. Maybe it's a silky nightgown edged in lace, a flannel set with buttons and a decorative bow, or a sleep shirt with a sparkly zipper down the front. These details, once charming or even glamorous, can become troublemakers as we get older. Our skin isn't as resilient as it used to be. It's thinner, drier, and more sensitive to even the smallest sources of friction or pressure. But here's a question you might never have considered. Could these rough details, the lace, zippers, metal buttons, and scratchy seams, be quietly robbing you of the deep, nourishing rest your body craves? Is it possible that what used to feel stylish or put together now just means more broken sleep and uncomfortable mornings? Let's look at what happens when rough or hard details are pressed against mature skin for hours on end. As women age, the skin naturally loses fat and moisture, becoming more delicate and less able to withstand rubbing or pressure. When you move in your sleep, and even the most peaceful sleepers shift dozens of times each night, Those stiff bits of lace, harsh zippers, or bulky buttons scrape against the skin. It's not always enough to leave a mark right away, but over hours and weeks, this repeated friction can cause tiny abrasions, redness, or sore patches, especially along the neckline, wrists, or anywhere elastic or decorations are placed. And then there's the issue of pressure points. A metal button or a zipper pull can dig into your hip or shoulder if you turn the wrong way in bed. What starts as a mild annoyance might wake you up over and over, breaking up the natural cycles of deep sleep your body desperately needs to heal, repair, and reset. You might find yourself waking more tired than when you went to bed, without realizing these details are to blame. Beyond discomfort, there's also a real risk of irritation and even infection. Rough seams or embellishments trap sweat and bacteria, creating the perfect storm for rashes or small skin infections. Something no one wants to deal with, especially if you're already managing conditions like diabetes or eczema. And let's not forget the way that itchy lace or a stiff collar can sneak up on you. You might not notice it at first, but after an hour or two, you're scratching, adjusting, or feeling inexplicably cranky. Sleep is supposed to be your body's time for rest, not a nightly battle with your pajamas. So, what's the solution? The answer is both gentle and practical, and it starts with permitting yourself to put comfort above appearance. Instead of choosing sleepwear for its frills or fancy touches, look for softness, simplicity, and stretch. Seek out pajamas with flat seams, tagless designs, and no unnecessary embellishments. The best sleepwear feels like a gentle hug. No poking, pinching, or scratching. Opt for pure cotton, bamboo, or modal fabrics, which tend to be softer and less likely to irritate synthetic blends or lace. Try running your hand along the inside of a nightgown or pajama top before you buy it. Feel for any raised seams, scratchy lace, or hard objects. If you find something that makes you pause, trust that instinct. Your skin will notice, too. When in doubt, choose sleepwear that's plain and designed for movement, so nothing restricts or irritates you as you shift positions in bed. And don't worry about losing that sense of style. These days, there are countless beautiful, comfortable pajamas made without a single piece of lace or a hint of metal. Let me share the story of Darlene, a spirited 70-year-old from North Carolina, who always considered herself a nightgown lady. For years, she cherished a collection of elegant sleepwear, nighties trimmed with delicate lace, pajama tops with pearlized buttons, and even a few with cute zippers and decorative stitching. Darlene believed that looking nice, even at bedtime, was a way of respecting herself. But as she entered her 70s, she began waking up in the night, feeling itchy or even slightly sore in places. At first, she blamed her laundry detergent, then her lotion, or even her bedding. She never imagined her beloved nightgowns could be the cause. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 2 below to let me know that you are still here with me. One day, after finding a small rash on her collarbone and red marks near her elbows, Darlene mentioned her discomfort to a friend at their weekly coffee group. Her friend, a retired nurse, asked, "Darlene, what are you sleeping in these days?" That question led to a light bulb moment. After some gentle encouragement, Darlene tried wearing her granddaughter's simple, tagless cotton t-shirt to bed. The first night, she slept soundly, and her skin felt calm in the morning. Over the next few weeks, she traded her fancy nightwear for softer, plainer pieces. Not only did her sleep improve, but she also found herself less irritable, more energetic, and free from the constant urge to scratch. Darlene's experience is a reminder that comfort doesn't have to mean sacrificing beauty or dignity. True self-care often means choosing what feels good over what looks good, especially when it comes to something as personal as sleep. It can be hard to let go of old habits or sentimental favorites, but the reward for doing so is profound. Restful sleep, healthier skin, and mornings that start with a smile instead of a grimace. So tonight, before you settle in for bed, take a moment to check your pajamas. Feel for anything rough, scratchy, or hard. Ask yourself if these details are bringing you comfort or just clinging to old notions of style. Remember, Every inch of your skin deserves kindness, especially after decades of service. By choosing sleepwear that's soft, simple, and gentle, you're sending yourself a message. You matter, and your comfort is worth every bit of care. There's a special kind of freedom in permitting yourself to prioritize ease over appearance, to seek out what truly feels good rather than what's expected. And if you need a little encouragement, just think of Darlene and all the other women who have discovered the joy of waking up rested, comfortable, and ready for a new day. Sometimes, the most important changes start with the smallest decisions, like swapping out a lacy nightgown for a buttery soft t-shirt. Sleep is your body's time to heal, restore, and dream. You've earned nights free from distraction and discomfort. Embrace sleepwear that honors you, inside and out. After all, you deserve to feel wonderful, from the moment your head hits the pillow to the moment you greet the sun. 4. Wearing old, worn-out sleepwear. It's easy to overlook the little things in our daily routines, especially when life has been filled with decades of more important concerns. For many women over 60, sleepwear is one of those things. Maybe you have a nightgown that's been with you for years, a soft flannel shirt with thinning elbows, or a pair of pajama pants so faded that you can barely remember what color they used to be. They've become a comforting part of your bedtime ritual, like an old friend who's always there. Why let go of something that feels so familiar and safe? But sometimes, those old worn-out pajamas might not be doing you any favors. They could quietly be stealing your comfort, your health, and even the quality of your sleep. Think about it. Have you ever woken up in the morning feeling a little itchy, or noticed that your skin seemed irritated for no reason? Maybe you chalked it up to dry winter air or a new soap. Perhaps, deep down, you never imagined your trusted, well-loved pajamas could be the culprit. Let's take a moment to turn this idea on its head. Most people believe that the softer and older the sleepwear, the better it is for sleeping. It's easy to assume that if it's worn in, it's naturally more comfortable. But is that true? What if, after all those years, your old pajamas have lost more than just their color? What if they've lost their ability to protect, soothe, and nurture your skin at night? Here's what happens to sleepwear over time. Each night, as you wear and wash your pajamas, the fibers break down a little more. The fabric becomes thin and worn, sometimes to the point of being nearly transparent. What used to be a soft, even surface is now full of tiny rough patches, exposed seams, and loose threads. These little imperfections might not be visible, but your skin feels them, even more so as it becomes thinner and more sensitive with age. Old sleepwear is also more likely to harbor hidden irritants. With every use, pajamas absorb oils, sweat, dead skin cells, and even microscopic dust mites. Over the years, no matter how carefully you wash them, some of these particles can get trapped deep within the fibers. If you've ever noticed a musty smell that just won't go away, even after a wash, that's a sign your pajamas are holding onto things that shouldn't be there. For anyone with sensitive skin or allergies, this invisible buildup can lead to itching, rashes, or even small infections. Let's not forget about the structural changes, either. Waistbands lose their elasticity, sleeves stretch out, and hems unravel. You might find yourself waking up with your nightgown bunched up around your waist, or your pajama pants twisted tightly around your legs. This constant shifting and bunching can disturb your sleep, leaving you restless and uncomfortable, even if you don't fully wake up. And here's another piece of the puzzle. As we age, our bodies lose the natural oils that once protected our skin from friction. Old, worn-out fabric can be surprisingly abrasive, especially if you move a lot during the night. What feels cozy at first might be causing microabrasions, making your skin drier, itchier, and more prone to irritation. So, what's the gentle solution? You don't have to give up every beloved piece of sleepwear overnight. Instead, start with a little self-assessment. Take a close look at your favorite pajamas. Hold them up to the light. Can you see through the fabric? Run your fingers along the seams. Do you feel any rough spots or loose threads? Give them a sniff. Does the scent linger, no matter how you wash them? If the answer to any of these is yes, it might be time for a change. Transitioning to fresh, high-quality sleepwear is one of the kindest things you can do for yourself. Look for pajamas made from soft, natural fabrics like cotton or bamboo, which breathe easily and stay gentle against your skin. When you shop, pay attention to how the fabric feels, not just how it looks. Try to choose pieces with minimal seams and elastic that are gentle rather than tight. And remember, sleepwear doesn't have to be expensive or fancy to be effective. Simplicity is often best. If you're feeling sentimental, consider keeping 1 or 2 old favorites for cozy afternoons around the house, or even repurposing them as cleaning cloths. Letting go doesn't mean losing the memories. It means making space for new comfort and better rest. Let me share a story that might sound familiar. Margaret, a 74-year-old retired teacher from Pennsylvania, held onto her favorite blue nightgown for over 15 years. It was a gift from her late husband, and over the years, it became her security blanket. But as Margaret grew older, she started waking up with itchy patches on her arms and shoulders. She noticed she was tossing and turning more at night, her sleep less restful. After some gentle urging from her daughter, Margaret finally agreed to try a new set of pajamas, a simple, soft cotton set in a cheerful floral print. The change was almost immediate. Her skin felt calmer, the itching faded, and she found herself sleeping deeper and waking with a smile. Margaret realized that holding onto her old nightgown, while comforting, was keeping her from truly resting. Now she keeps her husband's nightgown folded in a special drawer, taking it out to remember him, but sleeps each night wrapped in gentle, fresh fabric that helps her greet each new day with energy. Margaret's story is a reminder that caring for yourself, especially as you age, is an act of love, not just for your body, but for your spirit. There's no shame in letting go of what no longer serves you. Instead, there's pride in honoring yourself, choosing comfort, and embracing the little changes that add up to a better life. So tonight, take a moment to look at what you're wearing to bed. Is it truly helping you rest, or is it quietly holding you back? You've spent decades caring for others, meeting responsibilities, and putting loved ones first. Now, it's your turn to treat yourself to the comfort you deserve. Remember, restful sleep is one of the greatest gifts you can give your body. And your sleepwear is where that gift begins. Change can be hard, especially when it means saying goodbye to something that's been with you for so long. But each new pajama set is an invitation to deeper rest, healthier skin, and mornings that begin with a gentle stretch and a smile. Celebrate yourself by choosing sleepwear that matches the kindness and care you've shown the world. You're worth it, every single night. 5. Sleepwear unsuitable for the season, too hot or too cold. If you've ever spent a summer night tossing and turning in sweat-soaked pajamas or shivering through a winter's chill despite being wrapped in layers, you know just how much the wrong sleepwear can sabotage a good night's rest. For so many women over 60, this struggle becomes almost a background noise to nightly routines, something endured quietly, dismissed as just getting older or part of life. Maybe you even tell yourself, "I've always slept this way," or "I don't want to waste money on new pajamas just for a few months a year." But what if this small detail is making your nights harder and your days less joyful than they need to be? Let's pause for a moment and consider, how much attention do we pay to what we wear to bed, and whether it matches the season? Most of us, as the years go by, settle into habits. That same trusted nightgown, those old flannel pants, the thick socks in July, or the breezy tank top in January. It seems so small, but the consequences for comfort and health are anything but. Here's the thing, our bodies change as we age. The ability to regulate temperature, something we rarely thought about in our 30s or 40s, starts to shift. You might find yourself getting cold more easily, or suddenly feeling a heat flash that has you kicking off the covers. Some women struggle with circulation issues, making their feet or hands feel chilly even on mild nights. Others wake up drenched, peeling damp fabric from their skin, wondering if it's the room, the bedding, or something else entirely. But have you ever considered that simply wearing sleepwear unsuited for the season could be the hidden culprit? For a moment, think about the nights you've woken up soaked in sweat, your pajamas sticking uncomfortably to your body. Maybe you chalked it up to night sweats, a medication side effect, or the thermostat. But synthetic, heavy, or dark fabrics trap heat and moisture, especially when paired with warm weather. Instead of allowing your body to release heat, those fabrics create a sauna effect, making sleep shallow and broken. As you overheat, your heart works harder, your skin becomes irritated, and you wake up feeling tired, sticky, and far from refreshed. The opposite is just as frustrating, and just as common in winter. Many women, wanting to stay warm, pile on heavy flannel, fleece, or even multiple layers, thinking more is better. But wearing sleepwear that's too thick can cause you to sweat underneath, only to become cold as that sweat cools on your skin. And sometimes, lightweight pajamas that felt perfect in June now leave you shivering as January winds rattle the windows. Cold skin leads to poor sleep and muscle tension, and even increases the risk of cramps or joint pain, making mornings feel stiffer and more daunting. If you are still watching this video and find these lessons useful, please comment 3 below to let me know that you are still here with me. Science tells us that body temperature naturally dips at night to help trigger deep sleep. If you're overheated or chilled, your body fights to regulate itself, disrupting this process. Instead of drifting gently into restorative sleep, you stay closer to the surface, waking often or never really feeling rested, no matter how long you stay in bed. Poor sleep, in turn, affects memory, mood, skin health, and even your immune system. So what's the solution? Thankfully, it's gentle, practical, and entirely in your hands. Begin by making a habit of checking the weather, not just before you leave the house in the morning, but before you choose what to wear to bed. On hot nights, opt for pajamas made from breathable, natural fibers like cotton or bamboo, preferably in light colors and loose fits. These materials wick away sweat, let your skin breathe, and help you feel cool and fresh through the night. On colder evenings, reach for cozy, soft layers, but think in terms of versatility. A lightweight cotton layer next to your skin, with a warmer robe or blanket on top that you can easily adjust if you get too warm. Try to avoid pajamas made with synthetic blends or heavy, dense fabrics during summer, and skip the sleeveless or ultra-lightweight options during winter. Instead, choose transitional sleepwear that can be layered or removed as needed. A long-sleeve cotton tee with pajama bottoms, for example, or a light nightgown with a soft cardigan nearby. Pay attention to your feet and hands, too. Socks can be a comfort in winter, but choose breathable, moisture-wicking ones so you don't wake up overheated. Let me share the story of Helen, a 69-year-old from Minnesota, who always believed her thick flannel pajamas were the only way to survive winter. Each year, as the temperature dropped, Helen would pull her heaviest nightgown from the closet and pile on the blankets. But she began waking up sweating and uncomfortable, then freezing as the moisture cooled. Her nights were restless, her mornings groggy. One day, Helen's granddaughter gifted her a pair of lightweight cotton pajamas and a plush, but breathable, robe. Skeptical at first, Helen tried wearing just the pajamas, adding the robe only as needed. The change was dramatic. She stayed comfortably warm without sweating, slept soundly, and woke up feeling lighter and more energetic. Or consider Marcia, who always wore her favorite polyester nightdress all summer, not realizing why she was waking up so sticky and uncomfortable. After reading about the benefits of natural fabrics, she switched to a loose, cotton nightgown for the warmer months and was amazed at how much deeper her sleep became. The lesson is simple but powerful. Sleepwear isn't just about style or sentiment. It's about supporting your body's natural rhythms and needs. Permitting yourself to adapt your bedtime wardrobe to the season isn't frivolous. It's a practical, loving act of self-care. If you're unsure where to start, take a few minutes tonight to check your pajamas. Ask yourself, are they too heavy for the weather? Too thin for the season? Do you wake up sweating or shivering? Listen to what your body is telling you. Those nighttime signals are worth honoring. Change doesn't have to be expensive or complicated. Even having just 1 or 2 seasonal sleepwear options can make a world of difference. And remember, layering is your friend. You can always add or remove a light robe, swap in a fresh pair of socks, or keep a breathable blanket at the foot of the bed. Most importantly, let go of guilt or reluctance about making this small, meaningful investment in yourself. You've earned the right to comfort, to deep rest, and to wake up ready to greet the day. So tonight, give yourself the gift of sleepwear that fits the season, and see how much brighter every morning can feel. You've spent your life taking care of others, meeting challenges, and adapting to change. Now, by simply choosing sleepwear that honors your body's needs, you're taking an important step toward better health and happiness. One gentle, cozy, seasonally appropriate night at a time. As we've seen, the little choices we make about our sleepwear, whether it's the fit, the fabric, the details, how old it is, or even how well it matches the season, can have a surprisingly big impact on how well we sleep and how healthy our skin feels. It's easy to overlook these things because they seem so simple, so ordinary. But sometimes, the smallest changes bring the greatest comfort and the deepest rest. You deserve nights where your body feels free, relaxed, and cared for. You deserve to wake up feeling refreshed, with skin that feels soft and comfortable in its natural way. Changing your sleepwear habits doesn't have to be overwhelming or expensive. It can start with just one new pair of soft, breathable pajamas or the gentle choice to retire an old, worn-out favorite that no longer serves you. Remember Martha's story, Helen's, or Marcia's, women just like you who found better sleep and renewed energy by honoring their bodies with kindness and comfort. You're never too old to give yourself that gift. Tonight, take a moment to listen to your body. What does it need? More space? Softer fabric? Cooler nights? Warmer layers? Making these small adjustments is a beautiful way to nurture yourself, to say, I matter. My comfort matters. My rest matters. Your journey toward better sleep and healthier skin starts with these simple steps. Embrace them with patience and love. You've earned every restful night and every gentle morning that follows. Here's to giving yourself the care and kindness you so richly deserve, because your well-being is worth it every single night.